Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Sergeant's Talk TV. I'm glad you're here. Big Mike here.
Jason, over here. Look who
That's
can
right.
show up.
Hey, how's your week been, brother?
A lot hotter than before, but been a good week for the most part. Man, some exciting things going on around here and feeling much better. Last week, guys, I want to apologize to all of you that I know Mike handled it great, but I felt horrible that I couldn't be up because I look forward to this every single week. And the chance that you don't get to come up and blab and talk about whatever we're going to talk about that week, like, then I kind of feel down. So I'm going to try to make up for it this week.
Hey, yeah, and we want to thank everybody that's come in here and subscribed to our channel. I think since we did that 70%, we gained 125 subscribers off that one video. So obviously the hashtags and stuff like that, they're looking for stuff like this to watch, to gain information and stuff like that. And tonight, guys, we got a good one for you tonight. We're going to be discussing 3 important facts that can save a veteran a lot of money and aggravation when going to an emergency or attending a non-VA emergency room. Okay, guys, if you don't know, you need to know if you're a veteran and you're covered by the VA. You've got to know these 3 facts that will save you a lot of money. Because if you don't take these steps and you don't do what's required, it's a lot of money out of your pocket. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hopefully everybody gains some knowledge on this. And guys, we absolutely love doing this, bringing you facts and information, and appreciate all the comments in the comments section. You know, some of you were right on the money. Some of you were guessing, and some of you straightened out Big Mike about other countries that do not have the draft that I thought they still did. So thank you very much for all those comments. I don't know what the lighting on mine is kind of fading in and out as I move. I don't know what Terry.
They all do it. We can't wait to get our studio done because there's no matter how I adjust my lights and how everything's going right now over here, it washes us out. And so guess what? We're not Hollywood. You don't get a Hollywood viewing. You just got to take.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's see who's in the chat before we get started. Hey, there's Joe. Fix it for you.
Hey, Joey. There's Dana Mason, so I know Tim is right there, and also my BFF Stella.
There you go. Hey, there's Beverly Moffitt's in here. I think she's still in there. My favorite female Marine, Dawn at Hat Creek, she's here.
Good neighbor, good neighbor. See James Hall, y'all made it in.
All right. Hey, your buddy down the road there, Ricky Smith from Veterans Landing.
What's up, neighbor? I need to go visit Ricky. It's been a hot minute. Who else showed up in here? There's the cuddly Texan.
All right.
That's so fitting. Every time I meet that guy, you know he's got the right name because he's cuddly.
I thought he would be taller though.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Glenda from Grace and Fire. She's in the house.
Oh, and here's the other BFF. But it's Jerry at Butler Family Farms.
There you go. And there's Rebecca Touched by Yarn. She's in here.
I see.
Empty Homestead's in.
I
must be. I know that's Terry.
Can't not hide that one when we're in view.
Yeah. And if you're lurking, please at least leave one message so we know that you're in here. It helps us out.
I see Liam
there is
from across the pond away. He's from. Welcome in, Liam.
Yep. And there is Believe. Says, hello, everyone. Just wanted you to know that the VA has been taking very good care of my needs. All right. That's right. It is.
Good.
I mean, it is a good service, but people do run into snags. And when you get a bunch of cantankerous old shitbirds, veterans, who are argumentative, opinionated, and the Army raised them that way, or any branch of service, they don't do well as civilians, and especially as old men.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another testament that he's obviously gotten into a really good clinic, and the people that work at that clinic, they make the difference. You know, the VA system itself, the paperwork, how it's ran, none of that changes no matter where you're at, what state you're in. But the people that work in that facility make the difference of the facility. So it's always awesome to hear a positive story, because everybody's got a negative story about it.
Yeah. Hey, there's Judy Herman. She's here.
See, Arlene made it in.
There's Neil S. saying hello. The Peanut Farm is in here.
I see Jennifer Ocean Homestead.
Yeah.
Pizza's fighting back, but I'm going to win.
Hey, there's David Blunt. He's in here.
And who am I seeing? Oh, I see Joe Fix It for You's other half. Little Miss Gingy, not for nothing Homestead made it in.
Ginger Snap. Hey, there's Webb's Web. Cuddly Texan said I came here to drop a like and chew bubble gum. and I'm all out of bubble gum, he says. All right. I think that we got everybody. We got 26 people in here. Yep, there's Dana. There's Arlene. Hello, Arlene.
Well, hopefully Dana gets feeling better, because evidently she had a wrestling match with some oxygen bottles, and got her some hospital trophies, it looks like.
There's Pappy.
Get feeling better and quit doing that.
How you doing, Pappy? Let's see. I'm almost to the bottom.
All right. So Believe says, Believe's just threw a nice Believe in there, and they added another comment, and we're actually going to talk about that. So
David Glunt says my dad doesn't use VA hospital, goes to the local hospital, and it's covered, except his back surgery. He had to go to Bethesda Naval Hospital. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we talked about prior to. If you're a veteran and you're retired and you're using VA and you've got TRICARE, you've got options. Okay? You do. Yeah. You really have options.
And you need to explore. I mean, we could delve into it more, but, since we brought it up, and before I forget about this, because I ran into this personally, was sometimes there's a VA clinic that's available and you don't realize it's there. Like I was traveling out of town, didn't know there was a VA clinic in that town. So I called TRICARE first, because that's always been, while I was active duty, TRICARE was always the primary on medical. It wasn't the VA.
Yeah.
And because being a retiree, I carried on with the TRICARE option. And so I just called them. Well, they sent me to a walk-in clinic, which is still covered, and it's not bad, but sometimes it is better, and it could be a few dollars less on your pocketbook if you just go to the VA clinic, if there's one there. But TRICARE will not tell you, hey, there's a VA clinic there, go see them. They're going to send you to a doctor that they know they're going to get paid from.
Sure. Okay, so brother, let's get started. It is 10 after the hour. And we're going to go through these. And if you've got questions, please post it. And if Jason's talking, I'll post it. And if I'm talking, hey, there's Southern Blessed Homestead. Mac and Patty's in here.
Well, hello,
All right.
hello.
All right, brother.
Well, he survived because we knew Mama had been gone, and he had to make sure to get the house clean. He said if we didn't hear from him, so Patty must not have whooped him too bad, or he got his job done and got it cleaned up.
Yeah. All right.
So we're going to begin with this, guys, because first and foremost, anytime if you think your life or health is in any danger, go to the nearest emergency room or call 911 right away. And that goes for if you think that, if you're a caregiver for somebody, no matter what with the VA, like there might be some back paperwork or something like that, but if it just go to the nearest emergency room or call 911 and an ambulance is going to take you there and you can take care of the other stuff afterwards. Yeah. Don't worry about paperwork before your injury is taken care of.
Yeah, and if you have symptoms that can't wait, do not drive yourself. Anytime you're having a medical episode, you just make things worse if you go and try to drive yourself somewhere. So the best thing is to call that 911 and have an ambulance come get you. And if you have signs like choking, stoppage of breathing at times, severe chest pains, or signs of mental health emergencies, meaning you're having a very bad day, don't drive yourself. Get assistance by calling 911. And that is covered under the VA. Okay?
Hold it down. Yeah. And so one of the important fact, number one, is if you need emergency care, you do not need a VA referral or approval or any of that. Like if you need emergency care, just go to the emergency room, whether that is calling an ambulance, somebody else driving you there, just get to that emergency. However, if you do want the VA to pay for it, or at least what they're going to pay for, like any other insurance, you need to be enrolled in the VA healthcare system. And so if you're not enrolled in the VA, then you need to get a hold of the VA through DAV, multiple avenues that we've talked about in the past. You need to get yourself enrolled in VA healthcare. So just make sure you get to the emergency room right away. I was trying to look and see and make sure I didn't miss something on that important bullet, but just get there. Don't worry about the other stuff until afterwards. But you have to be enrolled if you want the VA to pay their portion. Yeah,
and down in the description, you can call 1-800-MY-VA-411 or 1-800-698-2411. And I put those numbers down there in the description if you're not enrolled in the healthcare program for the VA. And that is the key, guys. Just because you're a veteran, make sure that you're 100% enrolled in the VA system, okay? Because like I said, I think I said this like last week or something and we talked about it, is if you've got TRICARE and you've got VA, there's certain things in the VA, like I told them about my shoulder surgeries. It was going on a year. And I'll talk to you about my back surgery. 13 years messing around with this. Okay. So I went to TRICARE. When I went to TRICARE, it was less than 30 days I was under the knife, and I felt better ever since my surgery. And TRICARE paid for that because I was just tired of waiting. I was in Colorado. The VA system sucked. Okay.
Yeah.
It really did. And so that's why I did that. And I was enrolled in the VA healthcare system back then. I've been enrolled in it since 2000. Okay. And a lot of people don't know this. if you move from state to state, like I have over my career, you have to enroll in that state's VA care. Okay. When I got to Oklahoma, it was so easy. It was unbelievable how easy it was. And I got enrolled in it. And so just, you got to keep all those things. And if you do move, go to your local VA clinic, find out where it is, go to your local DAV, and they'll help you out every single time. But those numbers to enroll are.
And once you're in the system, initially moving becomes that much easier because you're already in. It is a national database.
Yeah.
But your healthcare gets enrolled by your local primary of whatever state and region you're in. So,
right.
Moving, like, I was originally enrolled, up through Michigan, but then I even changed clinics up there, and then I turned around and got enrolled down here.
Right.
And yeah, that changeover is typically a little easier. Hopefully I don't have to re-enroll anywhere else because I don't plan on moving, but
yeah,
it's not a horrible process.
No. Hey, so important fact number 2 that you should know, the provider or someone on your behalf needs to contact the VA within 72 hours of the start of your emergency care and let them know what's going on. That is key, guys. You have to make contact with them. It isn't automatic, okay? In most cases, the provider, if you tell them, hey, I'm a veteran, I'm under the VA healthcare system, we'll do this for you, but make sure you follow up and confirm that they have made contact with the VA. Guys, when you assume, you leave yourself wide open. Okay. Well, I thought they were going to do it. I told them, okay, they're not doing their job. And all of a sudden you get stuck with something. That's not the way to go, guys. Let's see. If they haven't, you can call the VA using the VA emergency care reporting portal or by calling 1-844-724-7842. And again, that is down in the description also. By contacting the VA within 72 hours, they will be able to assist you with billing issues, transfer of services at the appropriate time, necessary consults or follow-ups, and much more. So be sure to someone contacts, or you should contact the VA. Now, if you're laid up in the hospital in that emergency room, or they transfer you into a room or something like that, make sure that somebody knows you're there and that somebody contacts them on your behalf. That you've been.
And there's a lot of times too where obviously you're in the emergency room. Like that's your care is like, hey, something in me is broken, I need it fixed, or you're not able to talk, whatever. At some point, somebody from billing at the hospital is going to come in, right? Because they're going to get their dollar one way or another. So you're going to get a visit from billing. At that point, if you haven't been able to, or a representative for you hasn't been able to get a hold of the VA, at that point, when administration comes down and the billing department comes in the room and they're trying to do your final, hey, I need someone to contact the VA. This is where you need to submit it. And I'll warn you, a lot of times they're not happy about doing it because a lot of the non-VA medical staff know that there's so much extra stuff that has to be done for it to be submitted to the VA. So they might not be super eager about it, but you can push them. And I mean, that is part of their job. They've got to be able to contact them.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. All right. So I just seen her in there. Angie, our favorite VA nurses here.
Absolutely.
Out of Oklahoma City up there. Yes. I'm glad she's in here. She's been away. I think she went up to Minnesota to visit her dad. So she's back, I hope.
Yeah.
Tony's lost without her.
Oh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Okay.
And I did see that. my father and the most amazing shipping department with Lazy Days Ahead made it in. So hopefully
Anna Boer's in here. Anna Boer's in here also.
And even Anna Boer's singing, Angie.
Yeah. Angie.
All right. So
Jesse's doing his job. Moderators, please, you can post everybody's name if you want
crazy. Yep, Angie says she's back. So
let's see. Ricky Smith says the VA paid for my back surgery at the local hospital. There you go. Yeah, and that's why if you've seen the thumbnail, it said VA care in the community or community care, because this is all part of that. And if you are, I want to say, is it 50 miles? I want to say 50 miles, or it could be closer. I got to look that up. Like me, I live an hour and a half from Muskogee, right? So everything I do with doctors, I get the community care. Okay, so I can see a local doctor, and the VA pays for everything, and I don't have a copay with it. So that's a good thing.
And it works. So I've had community care both ways. I do community care for my gastro stuff, because I drove one time to Little Rock, and I'm like, not doing it again. Like, you can find me a local doctor to get all the other stuff done. And so that fell under community care. The other one is, so there's a mileage and a drive. And I've actually talked with the VA about that. Was even if it's under the 50 miles, if you're not able to drive or get transportation, to that distance, one, they can make arrangements to have, like, there's a lot of times there's a DAV chapter, somebody that can drive you there. Or if you're like, hey, I have a doctor in town, he's 5 miles away, can I go there? Like, but you have to talk to him. You have to ask for it. And that's something, guys, that we'll repeat multiple times in all of these videos and lives, is you don't know until you ask for it. And there's so many more options out there. But the other one, other than the driving distance or driving ability, is the amount of time it would take them to get you in to see that specialist.
Yes.
If it's going to be more than 30 days, for kind of a more acute case, or maybe 60 days, like, the parameters kind of differ on your situation and how acute your symptoms are, is that could also qualify for community care also, because if they say, hey, you need to go see a chiropractor, well, the VA chiropractor isn't available for 6 months, boom, all right, now you can go to the guy down the road. Through the community.
But for community care, you have to make contact with the VA, and you have to get approved for it. They got to look at all your situation and stuff like that.
Right now,
I'm 25 miles from McAllister, the clinic in McAllister, Oklahoma. I'm 25 miles away from that. And then Muskogee is, from my house, is close to 97 miles. So that's why I get care in the community. And don't forget this, guys. We've said this 100 times. When you do go to any of your appointments, get paid for the mileage you drove. I don't care how far you drove or how short you drove. Fill out the form or get the app. Have them help you. The DAV can do it. The people at the clinic can help you do this, and register and make sure you get those mileages going to and from. Why do they do that? Because they're responsible for all your health care. Okay? If it's service connected, they're responsible for all that. And that's why you get paid the mileage. So there you go. All right.
Yeah. So we'll cover fact number 3, and I'm sure we've got plenty of other stuff to finish up with this. But number 3 is going to be, you need to know that if you get a bill in the mail or by email, and need help determining what is being covered by the VA, or you need help to resolve billing issues with a community provider, the VA can provide assistance. Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's Eastern time. So those people over that way. And by calling 877-881-7618.
Yep. And that's also in the description.
Yeah. So, kind of going along like we said before, guys, like no matter what, you go to any random emergency room, you're going to see somebody from billing and or admissions if they're not the same person, depending on the size of the hospital. And at that point is when you're like, hey, I need you to reach out, like bill this to the VA and get that started if you haven't contacted them through some of the other numbers or contacts that you have beforehand.
Right. Yeah. So, and you like Angie says, 60 miles out from the OKC VA hospital is what they use is the 60-mile mark. But again, guys, if you look at it, you have to go there and come back home. So if you live 60 miles away, that's 120 miles of driving. And the current mileage, I know for Oklahoma, under the joint travel regulation that everybody that works for the government goes by, is 67 cents per mile. Okay. It may not be a lot. Okay. But it may just cover your gas mileage unless you're driving big F-350 and you're getting 11 to 12 miles per gallon.
Yeah, they give you, Prius mileage for it, but
if you're driving a Prius, you're probably making out on the deal. So there you go. So I mean, come on. I mean, that covers the expense at least. If you go 60.
Anytime you can get money from any kind of a government entity for just a little bit of work, then why not? Like, I think I want to say it was one of the few times where like they would send you a check and it was like it cost more in postage than what the check was that they were going to send it to you. But it's like, hey, it's at the principle of this now. Like, it's all about that 35 cents. I know it costs you $2 to mail it, but I got my 35 cents. So,
So let me look in here. We said hello to Jesse. He's doing his job. He's doing a great job. That is the mod father.
Always doing amazing. And he did say that they got power after, what did he say?
7 days, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6 days and 14 hours.
Wow.
Not that he was counting, but he knows exactly.
I think he put a thing out that if you're in like a city like Houston, make sure when you're looking for a house that you're in the grid area of a fire station or a police station or a hospital. You're going to get power first. Hey, there's Debbie Drach. She's in here.
Hello, Debbie. And I seen
there's Lindy Okie.
There was just somebody else. Oh, Gail, Broken Hearts Ministry made it in.
Let's see. Grace and Fire. Glenda says they also send veterans out via community care if the service cannot be provided or in a timely manner.
Right.
I mean, because they're always looking for doctors in the VA. And all of a sudden, I've been called many times. And like, I think this last time, it was just for an eye checkup. And it's at the clinic here in McAllister. Well, the doctor that the doctor's office that the VA uses, that lady just stopped taking VA payments. I'm going, holy crap. Do you know how many people, because I guess, I don't know why, but then they had to reschedule it and they gave me somebody else in the community that did it, because a lot of people work for the VA, they leave the VA, and then they have to hire new doctors and stuff like that. So sometimes that is a reason why. And it can be frustrating, guys, really frustrating, dialing that 1866 number or whatever number you have to dial to get a hold of one of the operators to set you up appointments and stuff like that. Because you have to remember, a lot or most of those people are working from their house. And when your call goes in, it sends it out to a number, or it has to wait until one of those numbers, because they're teleworking and they set up all your appointments and stuff like that. That's the job I need. Okay. I need to work for the VA right here from my computer and from my phone, and to schedule veterans for appointments or get messages to their primary care doctor. Okay. And that's they never give you the clinic number. You know what I mean?
There's never a direct, and it seems, I know the last couple times that I've called the VA, they somehow have turned that initial prompt and they've added more to it to make it even longer.
Yeah.
So it's almost, you've got 10 minutes of pre-recorded stuff that you have to listen to before you even get an option of selecting what department you want to go to. So, I mean, luckily they speakerphone, set it down, continue your conversation, and when they give you a prompt, hit the button. But I mean, in the long run, that's the best way that they can really do it.
Or they sit there and say, your wait time is 35 minutes. I just hang up and I call back. But I believe that this last, who was that? No, it wasn't the VA that says, if you press 1, we'll call you back. It was a Social Security office, and they called me right back because all their lines were busy. Because, hey, guys, Big Mike's retiring on Thursday. Thursday, my retirement date. 43 years with the federal government. I'm done, and I'm retiring. So one of my steps is to get a hold of the Social Security office. And they have me, I don't know, I have a Social Security office right down the road on the highway 69. And I called them to set up, not them, but the 1-800 number, because they don't have the local number here. That will go through a call center. And they said, oh, yeah. I said, I retire on the 18th. We can't get you an appointment, a phone appointment, until the 12th of August. I said, good Lord. Then I find out that you can do it all online. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of sad. I've been working for them for a lot of years. Taking care of soldiers is what my job was all about. And so, guys, full-time YouTube.
Gonna be the big dog.
Until Terry gets tired of me and makes me go find another job. And I don't care if it's welcome to Walmart. Okay? Because I think I can only make like $17,000 a year if I collect Social Security. So it's some kind of part-time job or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, that's Grace Fire says, Sir Grace sees a provider on a regular basis for a combat issue that the VA cannot provide. And that's another thing. Yeah. If they can't provide the service within the hospital, prior authorization is required. Yes. That is true.
Yes. And I did see that somebody else.
Angie says when we do a referral, we call the office ourselves and give vet appointments before they leave. Yes. Yeah, I do know that every time I leave the clinic or whatever, they've already given me a piece of paper with my follow-on appointments and stuff like that. And, I mean, I get letters in the mail. I think it was like in February for October and November appointments. So,
yeah, the other thing that and I kept forgetting this when we were looking at the phone numbers earlier, was once you're registered, right? And guys, that's the ultimate key. You've got to get registered and enrolled in the VA healthcare system. Once you're there, you can use eBenefits, the va.gov website. And if you don't want to deal with the telephone prompt and sit there and listen to a 10-minute automated message before you get to hit option 1, you can send a secure message right through your phone to your primary care. So even if you're up in the hospital with something, it would behoove you at that point, go ahead and be like, hey, I'm at such and such hospital. This is what's going on. At least send a thing off to your VA care provider, and then that can get that ball rolling. Because then they'll know what the billing, because they'll be able to request records and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to August. August in Oklahoma is the hottest month for us.
North Carolina, let's see. August isn't too bad. It starts to get, August, I think the latter part, the years that I was in North Carolina, the latter part of August was a little more manageable. I see brother Tim at Ridge Life showed up. Welcome. Says
Timothy's in here?
He is the oh, well, thank you, Ginger, on that one. But I know I'm farther down in the comments than you are. But right here, finally got his VA of online after the local office said he had to go to Memphis to do it, and online didn't work. They held it up, but got it approved. So
yep, there you go.
Good work, brother.
Yeah. And see, he's a long ways from a VA, so he needs to make sure about getting qualified for community care because he's a distance away from the VA. So, that's always an option. And when you see your provider or anything, you need to talk to them about your community care so they can find you local doctors to see you so you don't have to make that drive. So, because I don't know how far Tim is from, I know it's a drive because he drives it every day to Memphis, but you don't have to do it when you're working with the VA, unless you're at work and you set up your appointments so you can do it at lunch or do it whenever. I don't know, but that's an option, the community care. So let's see.
Yeah, and it will take, most of the time, you're going to have to, even if your main VA clinic is a little bit further of a drive, you will have, for your initial, your initial appointments and interviews and that kind of stuff, as your final part of the enrollment into the VA, is you typically are going to have to make at least minimally one trip there.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt.
So just kind of plan things ahead, whether you've got to take your veteran there or take yourself there or find somebody to help you get there.
And believe is right. The first words out of your mouth is the VA is paying for this. That's absolutely correct. Okay. Don't be shy. You got to let them know. And you're going to the emergency room. They can't refuse you medical care. Okay.
Right.
You can't. I know most hospitals are privatized and all this kind of stuff, but dude, if they turned you away on an emergency, they know they would never survive in court. They know that. So that should be the first thing out of your sewer is, hey, VA's paying for this. Okay. So there you go. Good. That's a good point.
Yeah. Thank you, Believe, for bringing that up. That is an excellent point.
Hey, there's Big Wave, Florida.
Hey, there's Big Wave. Who was it? Oh, Gene Walston says they just got accepted into the VA care program. So congratulations.
Congratulations. And again, if you have any heartburns or anything like that, remember your local DAV is there to help you. I'm telling you guys, I can't stress using them enough. They're such good guys over there. What is this one? Broken Hearts Ministry. They used to send my ex to Albuquerque, New Mexico from Texas. Wow. That's a good little drive.
Yeah, and there's it's been a couple different times that I've heard situations like that where you're really close to the state line, and so instead of going to one, because they'll send you to another. Because I know, like, well, Ricky, I think's probably still in here listening. He doesn't live far from me, but he actually doesn't go to the same clinic I do. He goes clear up to another one. And he seems to be getting really good treatment there. But yeah, sometimes it'll involve.
And here's another good point. The best way to communicate with the VA provider is through My Healthy Vet Messenger. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. Thank you, Glenda. I'm excited, but I'm kind of scared. I mean, I haven't said that in a month of Sundays because it's the unknown. I mean, I've been employed since I was 18 years old. And now at 63, I'm not going to have a job. And that's scary, guys. So I know a lot of people go through it, but once you go through it, it's trying to make that move is making that move, and you got to rip the Band-Aid off, but it's still
that's full time. I mean, obviously I'm much younger and I didn't work for the government as long as you had, but that transition to go from not having a job at all, like, I mean, I work for myself and what we do around here, but when it's so ingrained in you your whole life that, hey, you're going to work for somebody else, or you're going to have to go to work and punch a clock and make money and do this. So that transition, it's a lot. And I retired in 2015 and then I worked probably 4 or 5 years, about 4 years, I guess, right after I retired, kind of a part-time job. But yeah, to go not working at all completely, I still am not fully used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. Yeah. So, guys, hey, if you have any questions or anything like that, we'll stay on here. But those are the 3 points that we wanted to make with everybody. Number 1, again, is do not hesitate to use your non-VA medical center for emergency care. Okay. However, when you go in there, yourself or whoever, even if you call an ambulance, you called 911 and you called an ambulance, hey, VA's paying for this. Believe said it right. VA's paying for this. When they drop you off out of the ambulance into there and people see you, hey, the VA's paying for this. So there's no mistaking. Okay. But remember, when you register with VA healthcare, you've got to call that number, that 1-800-698-2411 in the description, guys. Make sure you do that and get registered. If you're a spouse or you're a child of a veteran, it's okay. Hey, Dad, Mom, are you registered in the VA healthcare system? Because vets don't like to spread their news around. They keep that close hold and stuff like that. And then the second thing is make sure that you, within 72 hours of using a non-VA emergency room, you get a hold of the VA. Okay. It should be on your cell phone. You can Google it and you'll get the VA number, but or write this number down in your phone for that service, or the number that you call after you've gone into the emergency room. Have it on your phone. That's the number I got to call. Yep, they're setting my leg and blah, 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 and I'm in here. Okay, get a hold of someone. 8 in the morning to 8 at night, Eastern Standard Time. Remember that. So if you break your leg and you're in Colorado and you're up in Denver, they ain't gonna pick up the phone. Okay.
Well, and I think, and I don't have my wallet in here with me right now to confirm, but I want to say that then the number is on the back. Like once you get it registered with the main VA clinic, you should get a VA card. You'll get another ID card, that goes in with your driver's license. And I want to say there's numbers on that card.
Yeah.
I think the only time I've ever used it was when I first started going to the clinic back home, because they had the automatic kiosk. And
they told me I didn't need one because I had a retired ID card.
Yeah, well, and I've got a retired ID card, but that clinic that I went to, they were wanting to go to the they were putting those automated check-in kiosks in. Yeah. So you didn't have to go up and talk to the person, because it was a larger clinic. So instead of going in and actually talking to the receptionist saying, "Hey, I'm here for my appointment, blah blah blah," they gave the VA ID card. You scanned it, and then answered the questions on the screen. And
I think I went into the Muskogee one, and they had the old kiosk still sitting out there, but they had a piece of paper. It's all of them, every last one of them. When you walk in each door, it says out of order. So
yeah, I haven't seen them. Well, ours don't even have. My clinic's here so small it doesn't even have it. But I think they had shut them down not too long afterwards, and you had to go talk to a person again. But
yeah, the only thing that's working in the lobby is the reception person that sits there. That's a volunteer, and the Seattle's Best coffee stand. That's like that. Yeah.
Although I will say, that clinic, the last clinic I was going to up in Michigan, the Wyoming one over by Grand Rapids, it's you walked in, there was a full service coffee shop right there that was run by other vets. Mm-hmm. And then they had like a sandwich shop and a little, gee-dunk pit to go get you a snack or whatever if you were in there. Like, because I mean, sometimes if you're going in, that clinic was notorious that you would go in and see multiple specialists in one day. So it was like, hey, you're going to be here for like 4 or 5 hours, right? But you're going to see everybody. And so they had some pretty good refreshments and stuff.
Really? Is his ID card his VA card or his retired military ID card? Because I can go to any military installation and get my retired ID card, and VA never never gave me. I think it had like a flag on it at one time, the VA card, but they give you that card for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you're going to use the PX, because some people, they don't have a retired ID card, but they're authorized to use the PX, the commissary, and the MWR facilities, or MCCS, or MCSS, or MCCS, which is recreation, like the outdoor recreation, to rent stuff and things like that, or use their facilities, the restaurants and the gym and all that stuff on the installation, is why they give you that VA card. Okay, because all you got to do is give them your social security number anywhere you go. And like, I went to the Walmart in Texas, all right, to get a fishing license to go to Pinecone Fest 2 years ago. And they said, hey, they gave them my thing, and they said, I can't sell you a fishing license. I said, what? He goes, have you been in trouble with the law or something? I said, I don't even live in Texas. And so his boss came up there and I said, he goes, you got another ID? And I pulled out my retired ID. He goes, are you a veteran? I said, yeah. And I gave him my social. He put it in there. Like every license in the state of Texas, he printed out for free. Okay. So they're doing the right things for people in Texas. Okay. And I said, and I'm a non-resident and I'm getting it for free. You know what I mean? So you guys, any place you go, you've got to ask. Make sure if you're a disabled vet, you get your national parks pass. Go to your state and find out what the disability are for all your state park passes. You guys, everybody needs to find out everything that they can get, okay, because of your disability and stuff like that. You've got to find out. I mean, come on. You know how much it costs to get into Yellowstone? Okay. I think when we went through there, it was $35. I don't know if it was a person, it was $35 a carload. It was $27 at the Grand Canyon. And
oh, wow.
I pulled that thing out and they said, go on through. So there's advantages, and you got to find out what everything that and maybe we'll do a show on that and stuff like that. I know we want to do a show next week or really soon about how to, you can tell us better than I did because you went through it, is to upgrade your rating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's multiple ways, and obviously, like you said, that'll hopefully, if I can play my cards right and scheduling works right, we're going to be able to bring another Marine veteran up who actually works for a company that helps veterans either get their initial rates, or more importantly, what he focuses on a lot right now is ones that have a low rating getting a higher rating. Because trying to do it yourself, and I tried for years to do it myself, thinking, even with my doctors at the VA, having a good doctor and stuff, but it's how they word things.
Right.
So hopefully, I'm hoping if it's not this next week, it'll be the week after, that we can get him up on here, and he'll explain it a whole lot gooder than me, because he does it every single day. But I went through the process, and I know several of my veteran buddies that have gone through it, and every single one of them have been a success on an increase. And if it's not 100% when they're done, you're going to be pretty dang close.
And it should be said, this ain't a free service.
No, him coming up, he doesn't do it as a free service. Which, yeah.
But in the long run, the difference between 70% and 100%, it pays for itself.
It does.
Yeah.
It more than pays for itself. I mean, it hurts a little bit up front to be able to pay that money, but because it's going to be a 6 to 8 month, sometimes a year process to get that increase, you're not going to notice, a little bit of money gone at the beginning. It was well worth it for me. And I only jumped from 90 to 100, which is a pretty big jump even there. But if you're talking about somebody that's sitting at a 40 or a 50 and they can somehow get to 100, game changer.
Yeah. Big time.
And I do want to mention, Robin, Annabor, if your husband's retired ID got washed and ruined, the VA will not replace that. He needs to get a hold of what's the name of the place? You need to just go to a military base somewhere.
Yeah, you got to go to a military base to get one.
Yeah, that's a totally different than the VA one. But she was saying in the comments that it was his military ID, his retired ID card, and they just did a photocopy of his DD-214, which will work, but
you'll have you'll have to take your DD-214 in there. The first thing that they're going to do at any ID card section is hook up to the DEER system. Okay.
DEERS, that's what I was trying to think of.
Because if you've got an ID card or you served in the military, you're in the DEER system. So that's what they link it to also.
Yeah. Oh, fellas. It's understandable. The VA backlogged and VA ratings. I got an email saying a company called VES is doing my records review. And that's not uncommon, Mac. Honestly, they're always backed up. There's always a backlog at the VA. I haven't heard of the VES company yet, but they will hire out other companies as a third party to look and say, are all the T's crossed and I's dotted and circles circled? And
oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I got my national parks thing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right there at the foothills of the Grand Tetons. As you go from Jackson Hole past the Grand Tetons, and then you get into Yellowstone.
I'd say I got my first one, which it was only good for a year, when we went into the national park down at Corpus Christi, the Padre Island. But that was only good for a year. But I went online. Now, if you go to, say you're going to Yellowstone, you're going somewhere, I mean, it would behoove you to do it beforehand and not waste your family vacation time. But you can go in, and if you go into one of those national park pass places, you'll end up walking out of there with it for free.
Yeah.
If you show them. Now, I ended up paying like a $10 fee, but I did it online. And I got my lifetime sent to me, and the $10 was like the shipping processing fee or something like that. The pass was free, but I had to pay like a $10 processing fee. But
there's a code. There's a code on your card when you get your National Parks Pass, the hard copy. There's a code on there, and when I go to like a Corps of Army Engineer Lake, like Texoma, Sardis Lake, and stuff like that here in Oklahoma, they have a thing there where you have to pay a $5 usage fee. I just write that number on the little thing and I put it in the card, the thing where you put your envelope in when we launch our boats and stuff like that. So that's free also.
Yeah, there is right at the bottom. But it even comes with a little thing to hang on your windshield.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't get one of those. I just have the card.
So I've got the card.
Oh, okay.
And this is how it was when I got the first one, but it was only good for a year.
Oh.
But this is the lifetime one. And so then it's got the little doodaddy
for your windshield, your back rear view mirror.
Hanging on the rear view mirror.
There you go.
It's made it to my truck. But
there you go.
Yeah, and I know like for Arkansas, I was looking that even with this, and with your military veteran stuff and whatnot, like the state parks, or if it's a Army Corps of Engineers. Hold on, what's playing in here?
All right.
I wondered what music was going on in the other room, and she's on there playing in her VR Oculus deal.
Or Oculus. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, what is she watching? But
so there you go, guys. For for additional information about emergency care, be sure to check out the information in the description below, or give the VA a call. When in doubt, whip out your cell phone and get a hold of the VA. Because I will tell you something, don't get frustrated, okay? Get communications between you and the VA if you have any questions. Because too many veterans get worked up in the brain, okay? That insane in the membrane thing going, and they get so pissed off that they hurt themselves, meaning they don't get the help that they need, or they don't get the answers that they need. because they're just confrontational. I know I've dealt with that with veterans all my life. I is one now, okay, or I've been one, and I go to the clinic, and I mean these old geezers, they want fist fighting going on, knowing if you blow on them, they're going to fall over anyway. But that's the warrior spirit in them, and they want to be taken care of, and I get that. So guys, hey, I'm glad you guys came in. I hope you guys learned just a little bit tonight. It was just 3 easy steps. You can watch this back, get the information again. And guys, we love you guys. Remember, be kind to one another, help somebody in need, and always, always thank a vet. And that's what we try to do on Sergeant's Talk TV, thanking a vet by helping a vet. Okay? Yeah. Vets for vets. All right? Or veterans helping veterans. That's what should be in everybody's mind.
That's the biggest thing right there, guys, is veterans helping veterans. And we're talking from our experience. We're trying to bring other people up on panel to give their experiences, plus all of you in the comments. So, and we know that you all know other veterans that are partaking in this. And we want to get them involved so that we can all build that database. And that way, when we get into these situations, you know, even if we forget what the 800 number was, we can get on here and be like, that's the number I needed to call.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I need to message this person. They know how to do this. So all about the love of veterans, guys. Every bit of it.
All right, guys. Hey, until next time, guys, be safe. Help somebody in need. Like I always say, always, always think of vet. All right, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
See ya.